Hey everyone, it's Kevin, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to stop eating when you're not hungry. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video, and if you want to speak with me, there is a link below. Eating when you're not hungry. I think this is a problem, especially now. The world is kind of in a funk right now. Everybody's staying at home, everybody's under lockdown or quarantine, or there's a stay-at-home order. All the restaurants and movie theaters are closed. Baseball was supposed to start this week. So it's like we have nowhere to go. All the schools are closed. So if you're a student, you're doing all your work at home. And I think for a lot of people, they've lost that structure. So they used to have to be somewhere at a certain time. They used to have to be in class for an hour, 15 minutes or whatever. They had to be in an office somewhere. They had to be in a meeting. Now, that structure has fallen apart, and it might not come back for a lot of people. So you're gonna have to deal with being at home all day with food right next to you, food in the kitchen, and it's like, how do you resist that? How do you not eat all the freaking time because you don't have structure and you have long periods of solitude and nothing? So if you're dealing with this problem, if you're dealing with the mindless eating, the mental hunger, you're not alone. I think a lot of people who didn't have this problem a few weeks ago now have this problem. So I hope a lot of people watch this video because it's going to be really useful in the upcoming. The first thing I want to say is mental hunger is normal. I think everybody gets hungry for non-physiological reasons. It could be some cue. It could just be the time of day. It could just be like sheer boredom. It's like, man, I need something. And a lot of times we fool ourselves. We think that we're hungry. We think food is the fix when it's really not. And it's going to make things worse. It's going to affect our emotional state. It's going to make us feel bad physically, and then we're going to regret it. So don't worry if you have mental hunger and you're eating for reasons that aren't physical. A lot of people deal with this. I deal with this. It's part of being a human. It's part of the natural condition. Humans are always looking for some stimulus. That's why we're always on our phones and we're checking social media and email. Some people still check email. I do. Or we're looking at the news, waiting for the latest updates, or we respond immediately to some notification on our phone. We're just hardwired for stimulus. And I think a lot of that has to do with the devices that they created. Trust me, social media companies have spent a lot of money to make their products as addictive as possible. They put those little red things at the top to show you that there is something new. Okay, that's called variable reward, and they figured out that when they do that, they get you hooked. So we live in this day and age of constant stimuli, digital stimuli, neon signs, advertisements everywhere. There's very little time when we're not exposed to some sort of stimulus. This is why I recommend that you remove or reduce stimuli in your life. You don't need constant entertainment. You don't need to be watching something all the time, although you should be watching this video, so wait until the end. You don't need music 24/7. You don't need constant stimulus. Removing some stimuli from your life and reducing the bombardment of noise and visual effects, I think will actually make you eat less. And here's why. Because the same part of the brain that responds to visual rewards is the same part of the brain that responds to food reward. Okay, it's that dopaminergic pathway in your brain. So when you get a new text on your phone, you get excited. That's dopamine motivating you to open the phone and check the notification. And when you get a cue or an urge to eat something, that's dopamine. Ding! Telling you to go get something because it's promising you something. It's promising you relief from the current situation. It's promising you some sort of reward. So you get up, go to the kitchen, open the bag, and away you go. I do want to say that if you are legitimately hungry, then don't deny yourself. You can actually go too far. I think this is what a lot of people with eating disorders do, is that they pretend like they're never hungry. And they just continue to deny themselves, and then you have some really severe physiological effects. Okay, that's an extreme case, but if you are hungry, don't force yourself not to eat. An occasional fast is okay. You can do that. It is kind of therapeutic, and it does make you feel good about yourself, but don't do it all the time. okay, there are, even if you're not doing anything and the gym is closed and you're not going to your fitness class, doesn't mean your body is still consuming something. Just thinking and getting up and moving and just doing your daily tasks for 16, 17 hours a day, you're still burning something. Okay, so don't be like, oh, I don't deserve it, and just because I don't run today, I guess I can't eat anything. I used to think like that, and it was really disordered in a way. So what I'm saying is, don't be orthorexic and don't be neurotic. Even though you're not going to the gym and you don't have your usual routine, doesn't mean that you don't eat anything. What you need to do if you're home all day, and you're dealing with mental hunger and you're eating for emotional reasons, you start to analyze your cues. You know, what's making you do that? What time of the day? What kind of feelings do you get? What kind of excuses do you make? I think for a lot of people, it's just a lot of free time, a lot of nothing. And one of the hardest things for us to do as humans is to sit in a quiet room and do absolutely nothing. Don't believe me? Try it yourself. Okay? Turn off everything. Turn off all your electronic devices and sit still and look at the wall for 30 minutes. I bet, first time you do that, you won't be able to do it. You get better over time. In fact, you might even enjoy it. And this is something that I highly encourage you to do during this time, during the pandemic, is learn to meditate. Learn to set aside 30 minutes a day. Doesn't even have to be that. 20 minutes for quiet time. Do nothing, just think, just focus on your breath, just look at the wall. Watch the paint dry on the wall, literally. Okay, it's okay that you're not doing something all the time. Boredom is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I hate the word boredom. It's like being conscious and being alive is not good enough. Like, we need to add something. It's like somebody serving you their favorite dish and then you add a bunch of salt to it. It's kind of insulting in a way. Well, that's what boredom is. It's saying consciousness and life aren't good enough. My life isn't exciting enough, so I need some external stimulus. I need something 24/7 a day, 24/7. The thing is, we're adults. We're not kids anymore. We don't need to be entertained all the time. So use this time to settle down and remove some stimuli from your life. Learn to do nothing and embrace downtime. It's okay. If you are hungry, eat something light. If you're not moving a lot during the day, if you are at your computer, you're still burning something, but you're not burning a lot. So maybe cut out some of the higher calorie things, cut out the processed food. If you're used to eating a bowl of cereal in the morning, maybe reconsider that. I remember when I got injured, I wasn't eating cereal or rice. Okay, I wasn't eating a lot of that. I wasn't eating a lot of grains. I still had some bread, and I had some sweet potatoes, which isn't a grain, it's a starch. I get it. But I emphasized more the lower calorie fruits and vegetables. I wanted stuff that was high in fiber and water content, also high in micronutrients, and it made me feel full faster. And the result was I actually lost weight when I was injured and I wasn't doing much. And the reason why, I think, is because I was really conscious. I knew I wasn't working out 1 to 2 hours a day. I knew I didn't have that buffer. I knew that I couldn't get away with mindless eating and snacking, and so I had to be really diligent. I had to be on my game. In fact, my diet improved when I was injured because I knew that I wasn't running and lifting weights and doing all these other things. I was just kind of nursing my knee. So you can actually get healthier and leaner during this time. You don't have to do crazy amounts of exercise. In fact, you can do exercise anywhere you want. If you have 2 arms and a legs, you can do some body weight squats, get a couple push-up bars and do that. Get an aerobic step, which is what I have over here, and go up and down. Is it the most exciting thing in the world? No, it's not. But in a time of crisis, when we have a pandemic and we have this virus floating around, you have to deal with second best options. So deal with it. Another thing I recommend if you're home all day is set boundaries. I try to do things at the same time every day. So sleep is 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Okay. I work out from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Even if it's an off day, even if I don't have any work to do that day, I still try to do as many things at the same hour. It just provides a little bit of structure. And I think what's happening to a lot of people is that they had that structure. They had that commute. Then they had their office job or whatever. Not necessarily an office job, but you get my point. They had to be somewhere for 8 or 9 hours. Or they had meetings to go to, or they had, you know, sporting events for the kids. And now that's all gone, and they don't have any structure, and they don't have any routine. So try to figure out what that routine is. Put some things on the schedule every day. So like I mentioned, start your quiet time. If you're not doing quiet time, if you're not doing meditation, start now. And it works best at your most vulnerable time. So if you have a tendency to nibble on things and eat stuff at, let's say, I don't know, late afternoon, like 4 o'clock, make that your quiet time. Okay, that's the best time to do it because it's going to have the greatest effect. But you need to find some activities that you can do daily, weekly, and put those on your schedule and do them as if somebody's waiting for you. You know, you need to have some structure. You need to rebuild that. And it might take a few days, might even take a couple of weeks, but the sooner, the better. Find alternative activities, whatever it is. Maybe schedule TV time. Maybe there's a bunch of TV shows you didn't have time to watch until now. Okay, make that 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I hope not that long, but you get my point. You need structure. A question you should ask yourself is this. If you're not hungry and you're eating, why? What does it provide you? For a lot of you, it's just habits, just like what you do. I used to do that too. You know, Sunday afternoon, I had finished all my homework. So what else am I going to do? I don't know. Sit and contemplate the big questions of life? Of course not. No. I always went and got some processed carbs and something yummy and something that I always regretted eating later. But that's beside the point. What does this snack provide you? Is it relief? Is it escape? Does it actually make you feel better? Answer, what does the snack provide you? Escape? Relief? Escape from what? What kind of relief? What kind of pain are you in that you're opening a bag of cookies? Like, what is that going to solve? I would argue that all of these extra snacks, all this extra eating, only causes you more distress, more anxiety. Because then you don't feel like you're in control, then you feel bad about it, then you regret it, then you weigh more, then you look bad in the mirror. And then what are you going to do to alleviate those negative feelings? Oh yeah, more fat and sugar. My point is, all of this eating is not serving you, and it's not helping you. Keep that in mind the next time you want to have an extra snack or an extra meal. Remind yourself that in an hour, you're going to regret it. And at the end of the day, you're going to regret all that extra eating. And it's not going to leave you healthier or happier. And it's not going to solve the problem that you think it's going to solve. It's a false promise. And the sooner you just ignore these desires, these errant desires, the better. The good thing about mental hunger and this mindless hunger is that it comes and goes. So you don't have to respond to it immediately. If you just wait 10-15 minutes, it goes away. You know, it's like a thunderstorm on a hot summer day. Here 1 minute, gone the next. So don't feel like if you don't satisfy the craving, then it's going to be there the rest of the day. And even if it were, so what? It can't make you do anything. Really begin to question the mental hunger. Why are you doing it? Sit down and think about it. Use that quiet time and answer this question. A question I always asked myself when I had mental hunger was this. If I don't eat anything, what is the worst that could happen? Nothing. That's the answer. Nothing bad will happen if I don't have this extra snack that I don't need. Nothing. It might make me feel better in the moment, but other than that, like 2 minutes, there's no loss. I'm not losing anything, and then I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to have the regret, and I'm going to maintain my weight, and I'm not going to have all this extra food in my stomach that I need to process. You might feel a little deprived, and you might feel like that you're missing out, but that's it. That's it. That is the only bad thing about not having that extra snack. There are lots of reasons why you shouldn't have the extra snack, and there are a lot of good reasons why you shouldn't have it. There are a lot of good reasons why you shouldn't have it, and there's almost no good reason to have the extra snack. I've said it before, but self-awareness is the key. What are you doing and why? If you act automatically, you get bad results. If you step back and you understand what you're doing and you take a couple of seconds to ask yourself these questions, you're going to get a different result. So let me ask you this. Do you get mental hunger? Are you eating when you're not hungry? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you found this video educational and entertaining. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you want to speak with me, there is a link below. If you liked this video, I'm sure you'll like one of the other ones on the screen. Click one of them, and I'll see you there.